Okay, gentlemen, welcome back to another video.
My name is Luba.
And my name is Stryker, and we've done a series of videos, including about the differences from our own experience, Ukrainian women, but you can equate that to Eastern European women or many other countries, okay? Southeast Asia, etc. Between the differences between the women from those countries and the women from the Western world, such as the United States.
And
Australia,
guess
whatever.
what? Guess what? It's part number 5. I was responsible for the numbers. That's all. 5 videos about that, and this video is about roles in the relationship.
Yeah, we'll put a playlist down below. We covered promiscuity, I don't need a man, dating etiquette, and the mentality. Well, actually, it was victim mentality, wasn't it? Okay. So roles in the relationship. Now, I've talked about this since the start of my channel, and it was a thing that I really, really wanted to understand that made no sense to me is why can't the man be the man, and why can't the woman be the woman in a relationship? And it led me all the way over to end up living in Ukraine, right, to try and understand this.
It's happening.
Yeah, and the problem that we've got in the West is that the lines are so fuzzy and so blurred, and they're getting more and more spread out and more blurred between what a man should be doing in a relationship and what a woman should be doing in a relationship. Now, I'm not saying that we should oppress women and they should stay in the kitchen and they need to cook and clean, and the man needs to go work in the construction site, and that's the old school traditional family unit. I'm not saying that at all, but what I'm talking about is that the man does have a role, and the woman does have a role in that family as well, and those roles are not one is not better than the other, right? But they are equally important, and they work so well together. In the West, this is so blurred, especially by the narrative that the feminists push onto these women that says, I don't need a man. You can be as good as a man. You can do everything a man can do, and all this sort of stuff, which is completely wrong. They can't do everything that a man can do. They can do other things that are better that a man can't do. We are not as nurturing. We are not as good with taking care of people, taking care of children. Women are good at this job, and they have been for thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. And the thing that I understand is that in the West, because of society, because of the social conditioning, it has confused women into thinking that that's not important, where it literally is the most important thing in life is to bring up a child and make sure the child is healthy and it can grow up to have more children, right? Not for her to go out and get some high-powered executive job, because at the end of the day, that's never going to be as rewarding and as valuable to what she can achieve with a child.
The difference here between Western part and Ukrainian, I guess, is that Ukrainian lady will never it's very rare when the lady has it's not that she has no ambitions. Like, for example, there can be couple that she was somebody, he was somebody making money, and then they have a baby, and then they will, for example, hire a nanny, or usually grandmothers. But usually the lady will not leave the child if the conditions are there, if the guy making enough money. So if the man is that provider, leader of the family, that she can stay at home and raise the children, she would love to do that. I have a friend who literally even it was exhausting, she said, I don't want to work. So she has 3 kids, and one after another. So it's she constantly for 10 years is staying at home and doesn't it's not that she's lazy, but she enjoys being at home with children. And this is, I think, also like I said in one of other videos, that I think that that is why Ukraine, on my opinion, Ukrainian ladies are so good with the Western men, because Ukrainian ladies can't find in Ukraine this what Western men have just naturally. But they can't find it on the West. So that is the combination.
I'll just say that's because there's even though we're we're apes without fur, we're very primal, right? Mm-hmm. We have primal instincts. We eat, we sleep, we want to have sex, or we need to have sex in order to procreate. There's still social influence or societal influence on both sides. So in the West, we have, the pressure on women to be more masculine, right? We have that pressure on them, and they're, a lot of them are caving into that, and they have been. There's also societal pressure or societal influence on Ukrainian men, which may involve living a life that may not be as good as, say, a Western man's life. So they may be drinking, and that may be because there's a cause of that, right? Because maybe life is not so good, there's whatever it is, whatever the issues that they're having. So you're right when you say that there's one thing good from each society, and that's why it works, because it wouldn't work otherwise. If the bad things are over here the same as the bad things were over here, or if the good things over here the same as the good things here, it wouldn't work. And that's why so many men now are going over to other countries, and these countries are poorer countries. But the reason that it works, I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, that these countries don't have as much money or they don't pay as much, and maybe it's through corruption or whatever it is. But anyone if you know anything about Ukraine, I think that Ukraine has the greatest technology, right? Even though maybe suppressed by a lot of corruption, the money that flows in there. But in terms of advancement in technology, I think it's probably one of the best in the world, right? Far exceeds New Zealand, which is a very well-developed country. So when it comes to going to a country that is poor, it's not the people's fault, the people that are there. It's not their fault that it's poor. They may work 10 times harder than you and they still don't have as much money, but that's because of the country. That's the rules within the country. It's the government, it's corruption, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that that the people that are there are bad, right? If anything, those people there can be humbled faster. They have more, they value more traditional things better because it can enhance their life so much more easily. We could even say this. We could even say that hypergamy is easier to achieve. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Why would you want to, make it harder for yourself to find a woman that would appreciate you as a man, right?
Yeah, the difference also, like, it's kind of that Ukrainian lady really, like, the guy's calling us and say that, I'm looking for this traditional relationship with a female and masculine role. One thing that Ukrainian lady, I would say, different about, and it's kind of, it's very unusual for the Western men. I see that it's like they're very not possessive in a bad way, like a Western woman, like, hey, I can do it, like that. But it's like they talk too much and they like giving advice to the man, and the man is like thinking like, am I a child? Because like Ukrainian lady has too much of a nurturing, like this over stuff. Like even sometimes like to Stryker can like 5 times tell him like how to do stuff, and he's like just I know
this
how
is
to
a
do
mothering
it.
instinct.
It's like mothering instinct.
Yeah.
We don't do it because we think that you're clueless. And I was watching one, like it was like a TikTok video. The lady say like, when he's parking, just take a chewing gum. And I didn't understand like why she talk about the chewing gum. She said, if you still can't shut up, take 5. It's like take chewing gum so your mouth is like,
so you can't speak.
So you can't speak, and he will figure it out how to park, where to park, And it was funny because that is true. Like that is something about Ukrainian ladies that guys sometimes get frustrated, but it's not because we don't think that the man is capable of it, because like we basically like a little bit treat you sometimes as a child. That is good. Like most of the guys, they enjoy that, that she will like if the guy is working, the lady will bring you like some apple or something, and it's very like cute and nice. But at the same time, sometimes you think like, I'm adult man, like why is she telling me how to do it?
It's funny actually, because they always say that like Ukrainian men are like mama's boys. Have you heard this before?
Yeah.
Like because they're mama's boys up until the age of like 30 or whatever it is, and they live at home and they can't get away from mama, and it's because mama's always like doing the shit for them. Whereas in the West, it's like when you get to the age of 16, your parents are like, hey, how about you, get out of here.
That is not too bad, but to be honest, like I wish that we would also get it. But that is the difference, that is the difference that we see, significant difference. And on that positive note, we are finishing our series of 5.
Well, we haven't done the conclusion yet.
Okay, conclusion.
Okay, so conclusion is, so we're not trying to say that Western women are bad, right? I know that some of our videos is like Western women this, Western women that, or whatever it is, right? So there are some men that appreciate those strengths and those qualities that certain Western women have, that they're strong and they're independent and they can fend for themselves. Okay, that's fine, and that's the way that it should be, right? There should be some men that are interested in those women, right?
Yeah.
Right? There should be some, right? But that's only because you have another option, right? You have another option to go to another country to find something else, right? If you didn't have that option, then we'd be screwed. Then society and humanity would be.
I think the best thing that we can at the moment, that we have at the moment, it's choice. And sometimes we have too much choice. We come to the shop and there's like 15 types of apples, or like, but different stuff.
What is this, like an apple shop?
Apple shop.
Specializing
like it has a
in
lot
just
of
apples?
Apple store. It is an Apple store. But it's good, but we need to use it wisely, I think. And yes, there's a different in mentality, different in culture, but we still, I still, when I travel, like I see families there, in on the West, and they're happy. So you just need to find what you're looking for, and if you like want to try something else, we're here for you. We're international matchmakers that have a big experience in matching people and a lot of happy couples. So join our Telegram community, subscribe to our channel, and we see you in the next one.
See you later.